Right, okay, folks. Welcome to Friday Waffle time again. Where does the time go? Honestly, I hope you're all doing fine. I don't make many pre-recorded videos sitting in this chair. If I'm being honest, whilst I'm not the type of person that's I'm not. I can talk in front of people quite easily. It doesn't bother me talking in front of people. I do feel I do feel a wee bit awkward talking openly when my daughter is through there. That's her bedroom through there. A lot of the time, she's got her headphones on and that's fine. But I'm just always conscious that when I'm doing these waffles, a lot of the time I'm not talking about video games. I'm talking about kind of personal stuff, and I'm always kind of conscious that there's somebody listening. I'm sure she doesn't intentionally listen, but I'm always just aware that she is through the wall. And that's why I tend to do when I'm doing like a Friday waffle, I'll go downstairs, and that's why, if I'm being honest, that's why there's not been as many pre-recorded videos coming from me, because it's just she's in her bedroom all the time, and it's not difficult for me, but I don't know, I just feel slightly self-conscious, which is a weird thing because, I don't have a problem talking in front of a lot of people. I'm not a shy person, but just having her sitting through the wall, it's weird. So anyway, that said, she's actually on holiday. She's away to Japan with her mum. They've both been saving up for a long time to go, so they're currently in Tokyo. They went, when did they go? They went last Saturday, so this will be coming up for almost a week. She comes back a week on Saturday. So I've been kind of making the most of that freedom and recording some videos. I've got one which I'm looking for. I've had a lot of fun making it. And I'm talking about Sociable Soccer 2025. I'm not going to tell you anything about it, but I think it's quite good. And for that reason, I've actually I've put it up as a premiere, I should say. I think I've got it coming out on Monday, next Monday at 7 o'clock. So I'm looking forward to that. But I have got a few other videos that I've done, which I will be putting out over the next few weeks. So yeah, what have I been doing this week? I've not been doing a great deal. I was playing pool. I was actually playing a doubles match on Tuesday with my original partner actually wasn't well, so I had to get another partner. This guy Craig, and yeah, we took part. We took part in a doubles mixed doubles competition, and we actually won the first match 3-2. And then we got beat 3-1 in the second match. But the second match, the two guys are shit hot, but one of them is just like he's on a different planet altogether. So pretty pleased at how we played. I played really well. My partner's probably a better player than me, but I think I played better than him on Tuesday. So that was good. I'm really enjoying my pool. I don't play often enough. I mean, I play once a week. A lot of guys play all the time. I don't really practice at all. So that's been good. And the last couple of days, I've just been making videos and just having time with myself. It's actually been really, really nice. So yeah, you've probably seen the video I put out earlier on this week, the new intro. I'm not going to go on and on and on about it, but yeah, the bottom line is the tune that I've been using for 11 years in my videos. Somebody has taken the tune and put a copyright on it, which means every time I put a video with that tune in it, it gets a copyright claim, and I've then got to put a dispute through, which takes about 2 weeks. It's a pain in the arse. So I decided it needs to go. That tune, as it stands, needs to kind of go, which is a pain in the arse because it's a tune that I've been using for my videos for a long, long time. It's people know the tune. So yeah, I partly as a joke, but partly seriously, I recorded an a cappella version of it. I'm humming to it and I'm playing a kazoo. So that is going to be my normal intro tune until I get a better version. Like I said, one of my mates is in a band, and I've asked him if he would play it on the guitar. He's shit hot at the guitar, so I'll need to give him a wee kind of gentle nudge and just say, "Come on, Andy, get the finger out, mate. I need the. I can't have people listening to my homemade one. That's going to drive people daft." So that's that. The Spectrum. If you've been on YouTube at all in the last sort of month, you'll be fully aware of this new release by what's it called? Retro Games, I think it is. Can't remember exactly. And it's a recreated Spectrum 48K, and yeah, it's been getting a lot of real positive feedback. It does the job really well. It looks the part. It's like you've got a Spectrum again. And I thought to myself, I don't want one, not interested. But I've been listening to all these reviews and people talking about it and saying what a wonderful thing it is and how it's really, really good. So I thought, fuck it, let's have a look. So I just went into Google and put in the Spectrum, and it's sold out everywhere. It is quite literally sold out everywhere. Toys R Us, not Toys R Us, I don't even know if Toys R Us still exists. Um, Everywhere. Yeah, Argos, Amazon, Smith's Toy Store. They're all sold out. Game sold out. But I just thought I'll check Argos, and lo and behold, I managed to find one. I've paid for it, but I pick it up next Monday, so I had to kind of wait a week for it. 89 quid. There's already arseholes on eBay selling them for 200 quid. You know what I mean? I'm always tempted. I wish eBay would allow people to put comments so that people can call somebody out and say, you can pay 200 quid for this one. Alternatively, you can buy one for 80 quid or 90 quid off Argos, brand new. I just hate seeing people ripping people off. And that's the thing. If you put something up that's maybe worth, I don't know, we'll say Super Mario 64 on the N64, that's worth maybe 40 quid. If you put that up for £1,000 and say it's extremely rare, I guarantee somebody somewhere who's got too much money is going to look at that and go, "Oh God, this must be a really rare version. Yeah, it's £1,000 because it's £1,000. It must be worth that," and people will pay it. And it just saddens me when I see that. It really, really gets my back up. So yeah, I've decided to order one. Why? I can hear you asking. I mean, I've actually got three ways to play Spectrum games. I think, no, I don't actually. I don't have an original Spectrum with as it stands. I don't think I have any of these. Because I never had the nostalgia for it to say, oh, this was the one that I owned back in the day. So I don't have one. But what I do have is I've got the recreated Spectrum called Just Specky, which is exactly what this thing is. And you're thinking, well, why are you wasting your money? I've also got the Spectrum Next clone, which is called the Ngo, and I've also got a Spectrum Next. So I've got three ways to play kind of computer games, or Spectrum games, I should say. But why have I bought it? I bought it because it's 90 quid. It's 90 quid and it looks really, really nice. Uh, I know I'm trying to get rid of stuff. I'm trying to downsize my collection, but something like that, it's nice to have. And you know what? I was going to say I might not even open it. Of course, I'm going to open it, but it's going to be one of these things. I'll buy it. I'll probably use it. I'll test it, and then it'll probably go in a box and it'll go in a cupboard. And you're probably thinking, what an arsehole, why are you doing that? But it's 90 quid, and you know what? If I hang on to it, maybe in 10 years' time, it'll be worth 190 quid. I don't know. But yeah, I bought into it, and I think was it Dell that was asking about do you have, or did somebody else ask it? I can't remember exactly. Do you have this thing where you feel like you're missing out on something? You're missing out. Everybody's got this Spectrum, And because you feel that you're missing out, you have to go and buy something. And yeah, if it had been 200 quid or 300 quid, I wouldn't have bought it. But 90 quid, it's that's a good price. That's a really good price. And I mean, I've got the Commodore 64, the big one, the small one, Amiga. They are great little devices for what they do. They tick the box perfectly. So yeah, I will. I'm not going to do a review of it or anything like that because yeah, you've seen all the videos. Pickups. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that to the end. I don't normally do pickup videos, but I'm going to do it because I got some stuff not gaming related, but I'm going to go and get these shortly, and I'm going to show you that. I was watching YouTube tonight, and it popped up with a video, and it was an abandoned Wild West sort of like shopping complex. It was obviously in America. I didn't pick up where about in America it was, and it looks like the set of like High Noon. It's the that styly building. You know what I'm talking about. In fact, I'll try and put a link to it down below if I can remember. I tend to say things when I'm doing these videos and then I completely forget all about it. But yeah, this video, the guy was like an urban explorer. He just goes around kind of derelict buildings and what have you, and just videos it. And when he got into this thing, it it was obviously a video like film place, and they sold DVDs and vinyl. And there was one big massive shop within this complex, and it was literally like a video store. If you imagine HMV, which is a store in the UK, I don't know if you get them elsewhere. You imagine one of these stores suddenly becoming derelict with all the stock still there. And that's what happened here. There was literally tens of thousands of VHS tapes. There was I don't think there was many DVDs, if I'm being honest. There was like loads of records, vinyl records. There was books, absolutely incredible. The guy's like his jaw hit the floor when he's going around it, and I mean the obvious thing, if you stumbled over something like that, the obvious thing you would want to try and take as much as you possibly could. I've not watched the end of the video. I don't think he's going to do that. I mean, you would need to get like 5 heavy goods vehicle lorries to get rid of it all. The thing is, who buys VHS tapes now are completely worthless. Unless Dell can tell me otherwise, are there any real like gems that are worth a lot of money? But they're nobody's interested in VHS tapes. But I've always said that if I had like infinite money and I had a massive house, I would have like I would I would recreate like a video store with all the videotapes. Just even if it was like the videotape boxes were on shelves, but inside was the DVD. But yeah, just mental. It's like, and the further he got in, he's like he would discover another room with all these like hundreds of DVDs or videos, I should say. What I found was quite excuse me. What I found was quite surprising was the fact that excuse me, I've just got the fact that these are all lying there, that people haven't taken them. But like I said, it's probably down to the fact that it's like, well, what's the point? But I think if I was in there, I would probably pick up a few choice kind of tapes just to kind of have. But I will try and remember and put a link down below. Um, YouTube, why have I called it YouTube? Can't remember. I've put in YouTube. No idea why I've done that. Nice and nasties. Yeah, I did have a really nice chat with Ian Cullen. He's one of my friends, one of the computer club people. I go to a club once a month, so Ian's been a member of that. So that was great. I've got invites. I've kind of had tentative acceptances. When if you've ever sent out like an invitation on Facebook, people can say that or like a Teams meeting, you can say that you're going to go, you're going to decline. You either accept, decline, or I can't remember what the phrase is, like tentative, whatever it is. Um, I've got about, I reckon, about 6 or 7 tentative uh, guests lined up. There's a couple. In fact, there's three well-known people. Looking forward to getting them on. One guy had contacted a while back, and he sort of said he was going to do it, but he was going to let me know, and I hadn't heard anything. And I messaged him the other day there, and he went, "Oh, sorry for mucking you about." He said, I was going to get back in touch, and I realised that I'd left it too long, and I didn't want to mess you about. But anyway, he said he's going to go away and come up with his 6 choices, and I've got another couple of guys as well. So I've got about, yeah, I've got 6 people lined up. It's great to have these. I mean, I would probably say that the nice and nasties are now my kind of staple uh, content for the channel. Yeah, I do a Friday Waffle. I will try and keep doing game videos as and when I can, but the podcasts I really enjoy doing. They're good fun to do. They don't require any preparation. Well, not from my part anyway. They're fun to do. They're over in an hour and a half. There's no editing at all. It's just bang, straight up. So yeah, there are going to be more nice and nasties coming. Uh, Questions. Colin Jones was asking about Blue Sky, which I didn't have a clue what it was. I've heard it mentioned by a few people on internet, internet land. Apparently, Blue Sky is like an alternative to Twitter. I've not looked into it. Colin was asking what my thoughts were. Now, he did say that he's put his own thoughts in his own blog. I've not watched your video, Colin, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I don't know anything about Blue Sky. I mean, the problem that I've got is, well, I mean, yeah, like I've got YouTube, we've got Twitter, we've got Facebook. These are the three. I was going to say three main. What do you call it? Social media things that I use. I use Discord as well, I suppose. Discord's fine. I can't really see any flaws with Discord. Twitter, Twitter's okay. Well, I'm calling it Twitter. It's called X. Um, it's all right. I mean, I don't really post. I post the occasional link to a video on X. I don't really go into it on a daily basis. Um, and because I don't really use Twitter, I don't really see any point in Blue Sky. If somebody was to come out with an alternative to YouTube, which has happened a couple of times, or I'm saying a couple of times, it happened at least once. I can't even remember the name of it, but it simply could not compete. I mean, YouTube is just this massive, massive thing, and it would be very, very difficult for another company to come up with something that's going to beat it. I mean, I don't want to say anything. I know I've been quite negative about YouTube um, recently, down to the copyright nonsense, but I don't blame YouTube for that because YouTube is such a massive thing that you can't possibly, I don't know how many channels there are on YouTube, but you can't possibly have a human being looking at every comment or whatever it is. So a lot of it is down to AI, it's down to bots working out if this is copyright, whatever. Where I am pissed off about is it's obviously very, very easy for somebody to go in and download a tune off somebody else's video and say it's theirs and claim copyright on it. So I'm pissed off with YouTube from that point of view. I mean, the money I make on YouTube, as I've mentioned, it's probably £6 to £8, not 6, 6, 8, 6 to 8, i.e., £6, £7, £8 a month, which is bugger all. It does help slightly paying towards my podcast software. But if there was a really good alternative to YouTube, I would think about it. I know some people are probably saying, "Well, what about Twitch? Have you considered that?" I look at Twitch in the same way as I look at Instagram, or is it Threads? This is another one you see popping up. You go into Facebook and somebody will have a video and you click on it and then you go to look at the comments and you've got to install Threads. They want you to install all these bloody things. So yeah, what was I going to say there? Yeah, unless they come up with something better, then I don't really see any alternative. I might look at Blue Sky just out of pure curiosity, Colin. So anyway, listen, thanks for your question, buddy. Wee Bob, I lost my passport at the weekend. Normally, I am very aware of where all my stuff is, but we all make mistakes. What is something you have lost in the past that was important to you in terms of gaming, and have you been able to replace it? If anything, that is. Perhaps you lent someone a game and didn't get it back. Um, have I lost anything? I've lost my wallet twice, I think, which is a complete pain in the arse. Gaming wise, I can't think of anything offhand, Bob. I mean, there has been times where I'm looking for something and I'm like, where is it? You know that thing where you know it's there, but you don't. You know you've got it, but you, for the life of you, you can't find it. Games that I've given away. Yeah, there was a game I lent somebody, and I can't remember for the life of me who it is. I lent them Last of Us on the PlayStation 3, and I never got it back. I did lend some people vinyl years ago. I always remember I'd bought Bat Out of Hell, and about 6 months later, I lent it to a friend and never saw it again. And I never really saw the friend again. It's just one of these things, and that's why you should never lend books or records or anything like that, because unless it's something they're going to watch instantly. I mean, well, I'll give you one example. A guy at my work he was going on and on about the new Zelda. I think it was Breath of the Wild actually, which was not the latest one. Is it Tears of the Kingdom? I think it is. That's the latest one. He was going on and on about this Breath of the Wild, and he said, "Oh, I don't know if I could buy it. It's quite a lot of money." And I says, "Well, listen," I says, "I've got it." I says, "And to be fair," I says, "I've not played it, for a long, long time. If you want to borrow it, I'll give you it for a couple of months, give you plenty of time to play it." And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, 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 that's great." So I did that, and then I got a new job with the same company. I'm based at home. I work at home, and it just dawned on me that this guy still had this game. He'd had it for about, I don't know, 10 months, whatever. And I thought to myself, you know what? Yeah, I know I don't play it, but if I don't do it now, I'm going to end up not having it. He's going to keep it, and it's not intentionally I'm going to keep it, but that's what happens. Somebody leaves a business, you've lost it. So I sent him an email. I says, "Look, are you playing it? If you're not playing it, can I get it back, please?" So he brought it in, and then I heard later on that he was moaning, he was complaining, saying, "Oh, fucking hell, he's wanting his game back, blah 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 blah." And the girl says, "Well, to be fair, you've had it for 10 months, you've never played it, you've played it like once, you know, give him it back because he's going to end up not getting it back." And he wasn't happy. He wasn't happy that I'd asked for this game back, So yeah, that game, Last of Us. I mean, I think I bought it for like 2 quid from CEX. Um, but I can't think of any other games or any hardware. I mean, one of my biggest regrets was when would it be? 1999. What was I playing then? I had the PlayStation at that point, but I also had a SNES with something niggles me that I had 11 games. I don't know why I can remember that. I think I had 11 games, boxed games, and there was a guy who had a kid. I can't remember if it was a girl or I think it was a wee girl actually, and she was like 6. And he was going on about she's wanting like a video game thing, and I says, "Oh, I've got a SNES you can have, you can borrow it." And I gave him this SNES with all the games, and then I left the company about 6 months later, and I completely forgot all about it. Um, so yeah, I think we've all got stories where we've given away computers, computers and whatnot. But yeah, I'm sure I just gave it to him as a kind of a permanent loan. I think it was one of these ones where I think I said, as long as you're using it, then you can keep it. But when you stop using it, Can I have it back, please? And I never got it back again. So yeah, that was quite annoying, if I'm being honest. But I can't think of anything else, Bob, offhand. So anyway, thanks, Bob. Always appreciate questions. Del Boy, can you remember the number plate of your first car and an exciting feature you hoped you would have one day on the car? I can tell you, I was excited to one day have pop-up headlamps. I did eventually have a car with that feature, but I just wondered what little extra you hope to have in your car back in the day before CD and entertainment centres. Um, as for the number plate, I haven't a clue. I haven't a clue. My mum always taught me to try and come up with a phrase that links the letters so that you can sort of it'll make it easier to remember. But I can't for the life of me remember what it was. But my first ever car, and I suppose it wasn't so much I wanted a feature, I just wanted this particular car. It was uh, it was a it was based on the RS 2000, which was like it was a Mark II Escort, Ford Escort, but it was like an RS 2000 sort of clone. If you, it wasn't a real one, but it looked like it. But this had these massive the alloy wheels, and this were wow, an absolute thing to behold. Um, I might have a photograph of it somewhere. I'll need to see if I can find it actually. I might try and look for it and put it onto this video, but I'll probably forget. Um, so yeah, I bought that. I got it. It was like 550 quid for the car. I'm talking 1988. I mean, I passed my test in 1985, and I never had a car until I says 88. I had to buy it myself. You know, I wasn't. Some people, their mum and dad bought them cars. I wasn't that lucky. I had to go and save up for myself. But yeah, getting that car was it was brilliant. It was incredible. It had tinted mirrors, a tinted windscreen. I think all the windows were tinted actually. It was like it was like burnt orange colour. It was gorgeous, beautiful alloys. I mean, looking at it now, it's probably a heap of shite, but to an 18-year-old mainmeister, it was like I was the main man. I still remember like driving about in it, playing was it computer and video games, gave away a tape, and it had all the tracks of Outrun, like Magical Sound Shower, and then on the other side it had the music. This was like the arcade music. I did arcade music to 720, and I used to drive about with Outrun blaring something else. So thank you, Dale. And the last question, is it the last question? No, I've got. Well, it is the last question, I think. Anyway, it's a person called Toss Fate. Toss Fate. Yeah. Thank you, Squire. Nice to see you. I'm saying Squire. It might be a lady. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Thank you, person, for taking time to watch my videos and to comment. This was on I put out a video a couple of weeks ago showing off a MAME setup, and it was 8 gig in size, and it had 130 odd games, and it was beautiful. The front end was like arcade machines, really, really nice. You can go and watch it. And he commented on this and he says, "Did you ever try MAME's HLSL settings? You can tweak these values to make the image look exactly like the tubes appeared in your arcade, including bloom, phosphor degrade, I can't even pronounce it, degradation, and loads more options. It uses the CPU to do the effects. You can make it look like a proper knackered old CRT. It's awesome." I did actually play about with these settings a good number of years ago, and I actually did put out a video sort of showing how to do it. I wasn't the best. The problem with these things are you've got to keep tweaking it and tweaking it and tweaking it. If you put things too far, whatever, it doesn't look very good. But I did play about with them, so thanks for the question. And I was talking about artificial intelligence last week, basically just saying how much I detest it. I really do. I mean, I saw a trailer popped up on YouTube, and it was for a Friends film, as in, how you doing, Friends film. I'm not a big Friends fan at all, but it just piqued my interest. I thought, that looks interesting, and it was all the cast, and it was like they're talking about Chandler. Obviously, I can't remember the name of the guy. He died in real life, and it was all about them coming to terms with losing their friend. And I watched it, and I actually asked in Discord. I says, "Is this actually real? Is this been made up?" And one of the guys, I think it might have been Arlosoft, Nick, he said, "Yeah, this is. It's people have made that. They've taken footage from films that these people have been in, and they've cobbled them together. And then there's a couple of shots where you can see the cast have been recreated with artificial intelligence. Now, it's not the best. You can tell it's not real, but it's terrifying how the technology is playing out. It really is. If we're getting that, I mean, we've had AI in this sort of format for maybe 2, 3 years. I mean, that's about the time when I became aware of it. I know it's existed in other sort of formats, earlier than that. But yeah, if that's what we're getting now, can you imagine what we're going to be looking at in 10 years' time, or less than that? You're going to have brand new films coming out with deceased actors. You're going to get Queen performing with Freddie Mercury. You're going to get duets with Elvis and Buddy Holly and you know Freddie Mercury. It's insane. Anyway, there's a person called Woo Before the Sun, which is one of my old friends. He used to make YouTube videos many, many moons ago. I'm hopefully going to get him on to my Nice and Nasty at some point. So anyway, he was saying, I can understand the AI arguments. The truth is, it's here and it's here to stay. It's a tool, and of course, there are plenty of pros and cons. As an IT guy, it's hugely disruptive in my industry, and a lot of jobs have gone and will continue to go because of AI, just like automation impacted production lines. The thing to remember is that nobody is being stopped or held back from continuing their creative endeavors. No, I totally get that. There's just a realization now that no industry is safe, even creative. If you sculpt, you're not going to be replaced by AI anytime soon. Well, Neil, I would disagree with that because we've got 3D printers and they're very common. And so AI, you just tell it to produce something. So I think it might not be getting done in the sort of classical, Ghost, Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore sculpting something, but you're going to be able to create things 3D printing. So I think that is just round the corner. Um, If you're like me and have been making computer music since the Pro Tracker days and badly drawing in Deluxe Paint, now AI comes along and it's a tool that can help me finally reach my goals. My only other choice would have been to pay someone else to do it, but not everyone can afford to go on Fiverr. Don't know what that is and pay a commission. AI is allowing me, as mostly an ideas guy, that can do a little to see those ideas come to fruition, and I don't see that as a negative. Totally get you, Neil. Absolutely. I mean, my argument is just one side of it. I'm not a creator at all. Oh, and this form of AI, as it is right now, is the genie out of the bottle. I can run most of what I need locally on my PC. Regulation will come, but what we have already is not going to go away. It will just keep on improving and being more and more disruptive for the better, and also certainly for the worst. What worries more are the ones lobbying for control over the future of AI are the least trustworthy. Twitter, X, OpenAI, Facebook, and in hardware for now, there's really only Nvidia. That channels that channels all this power into a handful of megacorps, and that's why open source is critical. No, great points, and it's always nice to kind of prompt a debate, not an argument, just to hear other people's comments about stuff. So anyway, listen, thank you very much to everybody that's taking time to comment. I'm going to do a jump cut, and I'm going to go downstairs and show you my pickups. Yeah, I was at a Christmas fair on what day was it? Saturday, last Saturday. My girlfriend said, "Oh, do you want to go to that? We can just have a wee wander about." So we went along. I wasn't expecting to see anything at all. I thought, oh, I might pick up a video game or something, but it was in Glasgow, and it was like £1.50 to get in, and there was maybe about, I don't know, maybe about 50, 60 stalls, and I had a quick. I thought, rather than take my time and walk around them all, I'm just going to quickly run round and just see if there's any bargains first, and then we can slow up. So I did that. Had a look for computer games. There was nothing. There was no gaming stuff at all. I think I saw one person selling a few PlayStation 4 games, and that was it. The problem is everybody now thinks that every game in console and bit hardware is worth a fortune, which it's not. Well, it probably is worth a few quid, but yeah, so games now. So I was kind of a bit bored, and I was walking about, and I saw a few stalls selling records. Now I bought myself a kind of hi-fi separates a couple of years ago, and lucky enough, I retained all my albums. I never got rid of any albums. But over the last couple of years, I've been sort of like, if I see records cheap, I've been picking them up. So I've got quite a decent collection. So anyway, I had a quick look. There was one stall, he was selling, the average LP was going for 20 quid, which you think that's a lot of money, and it is a lot of money, but you know, if if you think about it, it's quite rare, and it's probably the same as what you would have paid. You were paying like 8 quid back in 1985, so and there was even some records that he was selling for 40 quid. So I thought, "Nah, I'm not paying that. I mean, whilst I'd quite like to have some of them, I wasn't going to pay that." But then I saw another couple of stalls. This one guy was doing. He said they're all half price. So I picked five, I think it was. And as I was about to walk away, he says, "Listen," he says, "pick one for free. Just pick anything at all." So I picked this. Now that's what I call Music 6. That's actually quite. That's quite an early. That's quite an early one. I don't know when it came out. Let's have a quick look. Record one side A, One Vision by Queen. Good Heart, Feargo Sharky, There Must Be an Angel. Eurythmics, Alive and Kicking, Simple Minds, It's Only Love, Brian Adams. Nikita Elton John, Running Up the Hill, Kate Bush. I'm thinking this is 1985. Lost Weekend, Lloyd Cole. There's actually a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of good stuff. And Uncle Sam by Madness. Uh, Baltimore. What was it called? Tarzan Boy, Baltimore. Christ. This, you know what? This takes me right back to 1985. I was at college. Baltimore. My goodness. So that was my freebie. Now, Beautiful South. I didn't buy a record with Beautiful South. I do like Beautiful South. Beautiful South are one of these groups where it's impossible to pigeonhole them. You can't put them into a type of group, a genre of music, I should say. You can't say they're not pop, they're not ballad, they're not soul, they're not funk, they're not rap, they're not rock, they're not country. I mean, they've probably got more in common with country western than anything, but it's one of these groups that they just transpose across. Not transpose. What's the word I'm trying to think? They've got global appeal across all age groups. You know, kids like them. My mum liked them. I mean, my mum didn't realise that some of the lyrics were quite risk, but yeah, she liked them because they made nice music. So think of Beautiful South, but then think of the mid to late 70s. And there was a group who brought out, they would not, this group would not exist nowadays. But in the 70s, there was people who were old making music. And this group, I was a big fan of them. I mean, I was into my ska music, Bad Manners, Madness, the Specials, the Beat, all that kind of stuff. Howard Jones. But I also like these guys, the Amazing Darts. Um, yeah, I mean, that's just bloody cool, isn't it? You'll probably have remembered them, Daddy Cool, Daddy Cool. It's Raining. What else? The Boy from New York City. These were kind of some of their more kind of popular ones. But yeah, brilliant, really good. If you're into kind of like nice music, that's great. So that was my freebie. Now this next one, people will probably know that you're aware I like this particular track. It's the theme tune to a film which is one of my favourite films of all time. It came out in the early 80s, and it's Chariots of Fire, and the theme tune is Vangelis, or that, sorry, Vangelis did the music. Can you see that? Low brightness. There we go. Yeah, yeah, that's better. So this was like £3. Delighted to have this. Really am delighted to have it. Yeah, it's not got a covered thing. Now, I've not played any of these because my girlfriend, after I bought them, she's like, "Did you check them for scratches?" And I went, "No, I didn't." She going, "Well, that's a bit silly because they might not work." I says, "Well, you know what? Doesn't matter." I says, "I mean, I think I've got about 12 albums there, and I paid £20 for the lot. You know, it doesn't matter whether if they don't work. It's the fact that I've got the album. It's just nice to look at. Now, these two I am made up to get hold of. This is a group that I've kind of championed a few times on various live streams, and it's Sky. Now, if you don't know who Sky are, well, you can see there, it was a group of classical artists: John Williams, Herbie Flowers, Kevin Peake, Tristan Fry, and Francis Monkman. I do remember my brother-in-law had all the Sky albums. That's bloody awesome. Oh, look at that. Wow. Oh, that's just actually coming off. That's what it is. Yeah, just so iconic. I love that. I love the fact that I've got these. So that is one Sky album. Yeah, yeah, there's just something so nice about having these, rather than going to a bloody playlist. And the next one is another Sky one, and that's Cadmium. And again, has it? Oh, there we go. There's the boys there. Yeah, handsome bunch. Just yeah, fantastic. I've not tried to play any of these yet, but I'm planning one night over Christmas. I'm just going to have an LP or a vinyl fest. Now, one of the guys I love, massive, massive fans, Christy Burr. Ever since I heard one album from a mate. Now that album was this Spanish Train and Other Stories. This is a great album. I says this just that was it. I was a huge fan. Oh, has got that? There we go. Yeah. No, it's not even in. Right. Spanish Train. Yeah, excellent. I need to get a cover for that, and it's even got the lyrics as well. That's so nice. Delighted to have that. Get in. There we go. I need to get a cover for that. And I'm going to put that. Am I going to put that inside? No, you know what? I'll just leave that out. That can sit there. You can sit there. And another Christy Burr one, The Getaway. Again, just looks beautiful. There's just something really, really special and nice about having covers. And again, I'll need to fix that and get a wee bit of glue. This one's actually got to Robert from, looks like Andy. Oh, thank you very much, Robert, for selling that. Wouldn't that be, you know what? You know what's interesting? The guy that let me copy his Spanish Train and Other Stories was a guy called Robert. I've not seen Robert since 1986, something like that. Wouldn't that be funny if that was actually his album? That would be really funny. Unlikely, I think. I'm going to tell you a true story, actually. Sorry, I'm hiding behind this record. Back when my sister is, what age is she? She was born in '62, so she'll be like, what's, I don't know what she's going to be. She's 6 years older than me. I'm 57, so she's 63, I think. When she was about 10, my mum and dad bought her this dress which she wanted, and a couple of years later, my mum and dad. My mum was one of these people that always embroidered. She always embroidered your name into clothes. It was almost a thing that you did in the '70s. In case you somehow lost your clothes, you could tell whose it was. So anytime I got a new jacket to go to school, my mum would always sew my name into it. That's just what she did. Anyway, my mum, they gave away this dress. It got given away. I don't know when it'd be, mid '70s. Then about 10 years ago, my sister, the one that had the dress, was at a kind of car boot sale. They call it a sale of work. A kind of car boot sale. And she happened to spot this dress. And she picked it up. She goes, "Oh my God, I used to have a dress just like that." And when she looked inside, believe it or not, it had her name, Pamela Stewart. Now, the chances of having somebody with the same name sewn in was virtually impossible. So she managed to retrieve that dress. She gave it away. My mum and dad gave it away mid '70s, and then like 30 years later, she got it back again. So anyway, right. So that was the Getaway by Christy Burr. Four more to go. Queen's greatest hits. Yeah, enough said. Just again another classic album. Does it go anything nice? No, it doesn't. I'm going to turn that around actually so it doesn't fall out. They're not they're not in the best condition, but you know what? Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Right, wait a minute. This has got, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to take this out of here. I'm going to put that in there, like that. Greatest hits. Then I'm going to put this into here. And then I'm going to get my Spanish Train Krusty Burr album. And I'm going to put this inside here. Like that. There we go. You know what I love about these records as well? Woo! They have been sitting in a loft for probably the best part of 40 years. Probably somebody's passed away and they've just been given away. But yeah, what an awesome smell. So that was Queen's Greatest Hits. Couldn't not buy this one. Queen the Works. Again, another classic album. I mean, I've got these in CD, but there's just something really nice about, yeah, there we go, lyrics and everything. You just don't get that nowadays. You get a CD. In fact, you don't get CDs. Well, nobody buys CDs anymore. It's a, even when you did buy CDs, there was nothing to look at. Nothing to look at. But to be able to just pick up an album and just look at it, especially the double albums, they were always fantastic. So again, he was selling that for £6, but I got all of these half price, so that cost me £3. And the last couple, Simon and Garfunkel's greatest hits. Massive fan of them. Really, yeah, just so much nostalgia for them. Yep, make sure it's the right album or right record inside. Like I said, again, it's pretty poor quality, but just having that is fantastic. So I mean, that was £1.50. I mean, can't moan at that. And the last one now, I might actually have this. It's possible I've actually got this one. Um, the reason I've got this is because it was a group that my mum and dad used to listen to all the time. Um, and I was brought up on the music. It's a Scottish group, and they actually wrote a song which some people may know called Flowery Scotland. And it's, oh, I can get that bloody well in. Get in. Don't want to damage it. And it's a group called the Corries. There we go. They did bring out a lot of records. My mum and dad used to go and see them in concert quite a lot. Now, I think I might actually already have this, but if I have, that's absolutely fine. I mean, it cost me £1.50. Brilliant. And that is it. So yeah, I got about, I don't know, maybe not 12. I got about 10 albums for 20 quid. So delighted with them. So anyway, folks, listen, this has gone on a wee bit longer than I thought it was going to go on. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've quite enjoyed it, actually. I think it makes a difference when I actually prepare stuff. I'm going to get going. I'm going to turn that off now so it's not quite so bright. So, yeah, I'm hopefully going to be along on Sunday. I plan, what am I going to do? I think I'll probably do part two of the Atari ST versus Amiga. And what I'll do is I'll ask 5 volunteers who are watching the video to give me their ratings for graphics, sound, playability, and overall. So I'm planning to do that on Sunday night, 7 o'clock until 9, but I will put up a post in the usual places. So anyway, folks, listen, I hope you all have a really, really good weekend. I will hopefully see you on Sunday. And yeah, thank you very much for watching.